You're also an entrepreneur, not just an author in other businesses. And I saw this talk online that you gave that was phenomenal, and it said 2020, but nobody had a mask on, so I don't know if it was really 2020. But nonetheless, you talked about why some of the greats believe that they are here for a purpose, and then the rest of us can go through life barely making a ripple in our life. How can someone discover the reason they're here or born? Some people I think are blessed with confidence, maybe, and they work on it or they just already have it. Some don't have as much confidence. Some believe they're here for this. Some don't know that they have a belief that they're here for anything. But I believe everybody's here for a reason, and some people probably just don't know how to grasp that. Do you mind sharing a little bit about your thoughts on kind of that talk that you gave? Do you recall this talk?
Yeah,
you gave it to a bunch of teachers,
yeah,
I believe.
absolutely. What it was is it was why do some people accomplish great things with their lives and others barely make it and just kind of float. And I want to start by saying defining what I believe great is, because people confuse fame with greatness.
Sure.
On the way here, I was talking with my assistant about a family, and this they had a severely autistic son, and the husband just bailed.
Got it.
And it's like, why? What has happened to dignity?
Yeah.
The greatest things I've done, the greatest moments were not limelight moments. The greatest
Right.
moments were times that I, as a father, defended my children, that I put up, that I sacrificed to take care of them, that I was honorable to my wife. This is greatness.
Right.
Okay, the other stuff, it's like, it's just marketing.
Right.
And that's the first thing. What is true greatness?
Sure.
My greatest moments have been very quiet moments, very silent, that few people know even happened. When I was victorious over myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love to take the seat. It's like it was a moment of personal triumph. It's like,
Right.
I'm terrified,
Right.
but I did it. And it could have gone really bad, and I would have just been another fool.
Right.
But I did it anyway.
Yeah.
And it wasn't when all of a sudden I hit #1 in the New York Times and the press is everywhere. It's like, that wasn't the great moment. It was the moment that was silent, that no one really saw coming.
Gotcha.
So anyway, having said that, what I discovered is I love to read biographies, biographies, and I've studied the lives of more than probably 300 men and women who have changed the world. And they were all so different. I mean, why do people succeed? And I was just looking for that question, for that answer to that question, and I think I found it. And the one thing I just saw over and over and over is that the only thing they had in common is that they believed they were supposed to. Mm-hmm. And that was it. They believed it. It's like,
yeah.
And so they had that sense. And it's like, that is, I mean, whether you're talking about George Washington or Hitler, it's like they believed they had a cause and a purpose. And so if you don't believe you have that, I don't think you have a chance.
Right.
And the other thing, people say, well, how do you find your greatness? First of all, define greatness. And then be great. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love talking, she's just talking to you. It's like, within a few minutes, I thought he has a great heart.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and because the things you said weren't. I mean, you mentioned. I go, oh, this is really cool. He's like he was the hairdresser for the stars, like Cooper Henderson and Matthew Broderick, people I admire, and it's like, but that wasn't what you led with. What you led with is we were talking about how cool you thought it would be if you could mentor some teenagers that were struggling. Oh. That's greatness.
Thank you.
Okay, those are the quiet moments, and so that's. I mean, seriously, that did far more for me just watching that. It's like, I like this guy. Okay, this guy's real. And those are the people who, frankly, I hope become very powerful and very successful, because we need, when people have the basics right, when they have their first kingdom in order, when that's when they really can be lights to the world. Too many people just try to be lights in the superficial, and they have nothing to offer.
Right.
But when you actually are solid, and it's always, I look at it, it's like, it is those little times. I mean, I was thinking on the way here, Dia had mentioned something that, someone went to an event and got kicked out, and I was thinking, one time I was walking into a bookstore, it was in, I think, Indiana, and I was having, with Michael Vey, I had 4,000 kids come to one book signing. I was having big book signings, and I'm walking in, and I see a little boy walking out of the store carrying my book, and he looked really sad, and So I said, "Why I said, you're going the wrong way." I just kind of joking, saying. And the woman didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
Okay, and she turned, she goes, "Oh, they kicked us out." And I said, "They did? Why?" And she said, "Well, because we didn't buy the book here." So she said, "My son can't have a sign," and he was obviously very upset. And I said, "Oh, did they now?" I said, "I guess." I go, "What's your name?" And he said, I'm Tom. And he's like, I'm Richard Paul Evans. I wrote this book.
Wow.
And I said, we're going to have a private book signing, okay? And all of a sudden, you see the mother just freeze, and it's like, and then tears are flowing down her cheeks. And I go, hey, my dad, I get it. It's like,
yeah.
And so he got to have this special moment. I said, do you want a picture together? Do you want to? And says, I can spend some time. It's like, those are beautiful moments, and they're moments I remember and think about, and that's important.
Yes.
That's to me, those are the real great moments.
Awesome.
And usually the only ones you remember. Actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. That is so inspiring. I love that. Man, yeah, that resonates so well with me. Define your own greatness and then achieve that greatness.
I don't think define your own greatness. I think some things are great.
Yeah.
Compassion is great. Self-sacrifice is great. There are things that actually that we can see around us, whether you believe in God or not, that are part of you. See things that are more.
Of being an entertainer is probably over, and then I realized, no, you don't have to be necessarily the Johnny Depp, the Brad Pitt, the De Niro, the Al Pacino. There's local entertainers and that's the passion, was entertaining. It wasn't being Al Pacino. It was entertaining. And so this talk that you gave, like the what if, take riskful action. That was something that I really loved. Riskful action. Swing at every ball. It's so funny, as you told that story, you had said on stage, you were telling the story on stage, that nobody steps up to the plate and it doesn't leave swinging. Here's a little side story. I actually was terrified as a Little League baseball player. I think I was like in 5th grade, first year of baseball. And I had never played baseball really before. And so when I would get up to the plate, I was the kid that didn't swing once and just hoped that my odds were I'd walk first. Yeah. So when you said nobody ever steps up to the plate and doesn't swing, I was like, oh, actually I did. But create your map inspired by love. That was something else that I really loved. Do you mind sharing a little bit about this what if and take riskful action?
Yeah, the what if. In fact, that take the seat was kind of part of the what if story. I tell this story, and it's like, especially kids love it, but this is the story they usually walk away with. It's the story of Heather Jennings.
Yes.
And it's like I've watched people in life that they rush into failure. And by that, because they let their fears counsel them, it's like, well, if I try to introduce myself to that person, they might not want to meet me, and so I'm not going to introduce myself, and hence you never meet them. And so you basically chose failure.
Right.
All right. If I would like to try that career, but I might fail in it, so I don't go after it. So in other words, you just failed in that career.
Mm-hmm.
We embrace failure. It's like, man, if I go skiing tonight, I might break my leg. I'll stay home and break my leg. It makes no sense.
Right.
But we do that. We do it all the time. And so I had a woman who taught me this. Her name was Heather Jennings. She was the most beautiful girl in 9th grade at Bonneville Junior High. And first time I saw Heather was a religious experience. It was on a bus. I remember just seeing her, and it's like I couldn't believe that someone could be that beautiful. It's like the angels were singing. There's a light around her, and I said, "Who is that?" To the guy next to me, someone I don't really know. And he's like, "That's Heather Jennings. She's new." It's like, she's out of your league, man. Well, I knew that. I mean, I had Tourette syndrome. I have Tourette syndrome. I had acne. I was poor. It's like, yeah, I get it, right? But I could dream, and that's probably one of those powerful gifts I have. My superpower is daydreaming. And so I dreamt about Heather. I just all summer long. It's like, what would it be like to have a girlfriend like Heather Jennings? And so the next school year starts. I'm at Cotwood High School.
Yeah.
And the 3rd period class, I sit down. I'm a sophomore, terrified. Sit down in a row of chairs by myself, and suddenly into the room walks Heather Jennings. I can't believe it. She looks around the room, and she crosses the room. She sits down at the desk next to mine. It's like, how could you say there is no God?
Right.
But I'm terrified. I don't see this as an opportunity. I see this as terror.
Yes.
And so I don't even talk to her. And after like 3 days, you're going to say something, right? And I soon learned that she's like beautiful on the inside, that she was really sweet. And it's like when she was like, oh, she's nice to me. And so I get this wacky idea that why don't I ask her the homecoming dance?
Yeah.
Now this is back in the days when you could do it without a helicopter.
Right.
But it was still really hard. I mean, it was harder that way because you'd have to look in the eyes. And
right.
It was like sheer rejection.
Exactly.
And so every day I just get ready, and it's like I'd wait till the bell would ring because I would never ask before class. It would be really bad. And then I just like, Heather, and it's like, yeah. It's It's like, and I just freeze up. It's like, well, did you get the homework? And every day was like that. And after like 2 weeks, it's like, okay, she's got to get asked. I've got to ask today.
Yeah.
And all weekend long, I'm just suffering through this. Like, I'm going to ask. And walking to class, I told someone, it's like, I'm going to put it out there. It's like, I'm going to ask Heather Jennings the homecoming. And
Yeah.
he goes, oh, she was asked a long time ago. It's like, who asked her?
Yeah.
Tim Walmsley.
Uh-huh.
Now, you don't know Tim Walmsley probably, but you do, because every school in America has a Tim Walmsley. You're over there nodding your head.
Yeah.
Co-captain of the sophomore football team, perfect hair, kind of just naturally golden,
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, Mr. Poor acne Tourette's guy is going to go out with Heather Jennings when she's Tim Walmsley material. Dodge that bullet. Well, school, I never dated Heather, voted for her when she was senior prom royalty, but that's as close as I got.
Yeah.
The 5-year class reunion. High school ends, I come back to the 5-year class reunion. Been there for a little while, and into the room walks Heather Jennings. Still gorgeous. She walks up to me first.
Yeah.
And we have this great conversation. We just talked for a moment, and she looks at her watch. She goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm monopolizing you." It's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
My wife did. But she goes, "It's good to see you, Rick. It's really good to see you too." She starts to walk away. She stops and turns around. She goes, "Can I ask you something?" And I go, "Yeah, of course." She goes, "You probably don't remember, but we sat next to each other our sophomore year, third period." Yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
She goes, "I had the biggest crush on you.
Wow.
Why didn't you ever ask me out?"
Huh.
She goes, "I even bought new clothes hoping you would notice me." And I'm thinking, someone just shoot me now,
Yeah,
please. Just put me down. It's like, I mean, everything I wanted in my life was right there, and I didn't take it. And so when I talk about, taking riskful action, it's like I got exactly what I deserved, which is nothing.
Right.
Absolutely nothing. And that's what leads into the story about take the seat. It's like, okay, this is a Heather Jennings moment.
Yes.
I can leave here and nothing happens. I might be embarrassed, might be humiliated, but I felt either way.
Right.
So get over it. But the other part of that is the what if scenario. And this is really important because this is how we develop a life and develop what we want. We ask the what if question. And when an author sits down to write a book, with my Michael Bay series, what if a 15-year-old boy finds out that a 15-year-old boy has electric powers?
Right.
What would that look like in this world? And he finds out he's one of 17 kids.
Yeah.
Harry Potter. What if this boy finds out he's really a wizard?
Right.
It's like it's always the what if scenario. Well, that's how we live our lives. Our lives are stories. So you look at the what if. Mm-hmm. So like one year, my wife came to me and said, "What if we moved to Italy?" It's like, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. That's not rational. I have businesses here, and next thing I know, we're moving to Italy. We moved to Florence, and it was a powerful experience.
Wow.
It impacted, my kids spoke 2 languages. It impacted them.
Wow.
My daughter, her first book is called Love and Gelato. It was about her time in Italy. It became an international bestseller.
Wow.
She sold the movie rights, and just now she's a big author. And it's like it impacted so many lives. But it was a what if. What if we moved to Italy? And there were so many cool things that came from that hard experience. I mean, it was hard at first.
Yeah.
But then it's like, now we love Italy. We go, in fact, Carrie goes 2 or 3 times a year. Usually.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that story because that is truly a story of inspiration. There's so many times that I've failed, but I always say if you don't try, you for sure fail.
Right.
You got to at least try. You might fail, but
it's Wayne Gretzky. You miss every shot you don't take.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, before we part ways, in case you have a dog or know someone else who does have a dog, I wanted to take a quick second to show you the Snap Leash. The Snap Leash can literally do so many things, and I'm going to share with you one of the many cool things that it can do. As you can see, the Snap Leash is designed with 2 swivel hooks, one on each end. This end has a cushion stitched into it to make it comfortable when walking your dog. Now, all you have to do is take this swivel hook, put it into this very first grommet, and now you've got your handle. Okay, so now let's imagine you're at the park and you want to secure your pet quickly, safely, and easily to a park bench, a tree, or a pole because you just want to sit down and relax. Well, all you need to do is take this swivel hook, remove it from the very first grommet, wrap this leash around any size tree or pole or park bench, and put it into the appropriate grommet, and now you have secured your pet quickly, safely, and easily. And when it's time to head home, another great feature about the Snap Leash is you can simply wrap it around your waist, for hands-free walking. Lastly, if you ever accidentally forget your waste bags at home, these grommets make a great place to fasten the waste bags so you never leave home without them. And if you want to see all of the other cool things that the Snap Leash can do, then please just click on the link below and find out why so many others are falling in love with the Snap Leash.